Jersey's own Zach Gelb. Or maybe it's Pennsylvania. Anyhow, it's one of the two, I'm pretty sure. The Zach Gelb Show continues on Fox Sports 920 The Jersey.
Welcome back in. Zach Gelb Show, 5:16 is the time here in our Princeton Orthopedic Associates studios. Sports fans, no better two words in sports than Game 7. And we have a Game 7 tonight. Cubs and Indians. A long drought will end tonight for one of these two teams. And now joining us is Cubs royalty, an 8-time All-Star, 1977 Rookie of the Year, 1987 MVP, and that's the Hall of Famer, the Hawk, Andre Dawson, who joins us right now. Andre, appreciate the time today. How are you, my friend?
Thank you. Doing real well. Fine.
Well, thank you for coming on, and we do appreciate the time. So you played with the Cubbies from 1987 to 1992. You've seen the ups and downs of this franchise. What would it mean if the Cubs are able to walk away with the win tonight on the road?
Oh, my gosh. It'll be a lot of happy, excited people, not only in Chicago but around the country itself. These diehards, if I ever saw or played before diehards, and if they can pull this off, they were the best team this year in all of baseball. But it all boils down to whether or not you got enough for one more win this season. And if that happens, I think the celebration is going to be epic.
People grow up dreaming about being an outfielder for a major league team. You were able to play in Chicago in front of those great fans with all that history that ball club has. When you look back at your time in Chicago, what stands out to you?
Well, for me, it was simple. Just the opportunity to play on a natural playing surface, play in a media center like Chicago, and play before those fans. I always enjoyed daytime baseball, playing on a natural playing surface. But, Chicago overwhelmed me, and I always told players if they ever have the opportunity to witness playing in Wrigley Field, make sure you don't pass it up. But the fans embraced me and allowed me to just enjoy every opportunity of those 6 years that I was there.
I saw some pictures of you back in Chicago for Game 5. What did that mean to you to get back in front of those fans at Wrigley Field?
Well, I rarely, if ever, sit out in the bleachers or in the stands itself. But just to feel the electricity and to see the emotion on those fans' faces, the energy throughout that ballpark, it literally made your hair stand up and give you chills. I was there for the Saturday and Sunday game. There were 41,000 fans plus standing room in the ballpark itself. They had it roped off, blocked off, where traffic couldn't get near the ballpark for a couple of blocks, and there was another 20,000 fans outside just standing around. So, it was quite overwhelming.
It's incredible when you see a team wait this long, try to get that goal of getting a World Series championship, and the Cubs were the team to beat all year long. But after that Game 5, I don't know if you saw the video, but I saw a video of Go Cubs Go being cheered by the fans after the game, and that was from miles and miles away from the stadium. That was something really neat.
Yes, it was. They're diehards. And to even add to that, they were down 7-1, and they had Cleveland in the top of the 8th inning with 2 outs, 2 strikes on the hitter, losing 7-1. The fans were on their feet cheering for the pitcher to get a strikeout and get the inning over with. So that's just how in tune they are and how important it is to them.
Where will you be watching tonight?
Well, I'll be glued at home to my television set. I'm finishing up a few things just before I head in that direction, but I'll be at home.
Get a little Joe Stone Crab, right? You live in Florida, correct?
Yeah, that's the regular. I won't have any of that. I will have some seafood tonight, by the way, but Joe's Stone Crab is on reserve for next week.
That's for the celebration, hopefully, if you're a Cubs fan. Andre Dawson with us, the Hall of Famer right now on the Zach Gelb Show. Last night doesn't get much better for the Cubbies, 3-6. They're 3-6 hitters, 11 hits and 9 runs. Just how about that performance last night from the Cubs hitters?
Well, you've been anxious to try and see just when Chris Bryant is going to get going. And Madden made a move, moving him down to third in the lineup to give him an opportunity to probably hit with men on base. But I just felt the young players were starting to look young, swinging at a lot of bad pitches, trying to force the action instead of slowing the game down. But to get Bryant going, to swing the bat the way that they did last year, they got a little momentum coming into this game. But, Kluber is no day at the beach. He's going to be tough. And then you got, those three guys that are going to be ready to go in the bullpen who can pitch multiple innings. It's going to be a tough go tonight, but if they can come out early swinging the bats, I like their chances.
I know for a Game 7, you take the pitch count tracker and you have a big hammer and you just smash it because it doesn't matter. There is no tomorrow for both of these teams. Last night, though, with the lopsided score of 5 runs and then eventually 7 runs, did it make sense to you why Madden did use Chapman last night?
Well, I understand the theory, tomorrow isn't guaranteed, but I still felt it was a little early to bring him in. He just, pitched 2+ innings on Sunday, which is really stretching him out, something he's not accustomed to. And I just thought that, you use your bullpen at that point and see what you can get out of it and have him on an emergency basis. I don't think that was an emergency, but, that's why I'm where I am, and Madden is the manager.
You just hope that Hendricks will give you 4 or 5 innings tonight, and if he's able to do that, you'll set yourself up nicely with Lester coming out of the pen, also John Lackey, who's been there before, and then finally Aroldis Chapman with his heater coming off the mound, that flame-throwing stuff. I don't know how you hit some of that in a cold night, especially into Game 7. But with Lester, you've seen the Indians have very big leads, to say the least, when they got on base. If Lester comes out of the pen and gets a base runner on tonight, how does Lester do a better job of keeping that guy close?
Well, you got to step off. You got to shorten your stride to the plate to give, the catcher an even more opportunistic chance at throwing that run out if he elects to steal. But you got to step off. You got to fake throw to first so you can get those guys diving back. You got to do whatever it takes if you're not going to throw over to shorten their lead as much as possible and allow your catcher to have a chance.
The formula for the starting pitcher of the Indians, Kluber, just get you 6 innings and you turn it over to their bullpen. Let's say if you were active tonight, Andre, and you had to face Kluber, what would your approach be at the plate on him?
Well, he appears to be, throwing the cutter to the left-handers and going more of a slower breaking ball to the right-handers. I think the theory would be to stay in the middle of the field with him because, he's not going to leave the ball out over the middle of the plate. That allows you to at least cut down on your swing and not swing at so many bad pitches, which is what the offense has been done. But I think, answering your question, the left-handers have to take the middle of the plate away and the right-handers have to take the middle away from it.
Now, I would have to guess, too, the key for the Cubs tonight is to get Kluber out of the game by the end of the 5th, because if he's in there in the 6th and he gets through 6, it's going to be tough to win this game tonight just knowing what's in their bullpen.
Well, even if they get 3 out of him, they still got 3 guys that can go multiple innings, between Shaw, Miller, and then, your closer Allen. So they'll ride him as long as possible. But I think, the Cubs have seen him a couple of times. He's still coming back again on a 3-day rest. Just how effective he's going to be really, goes out the window now because adrenaline is going to take over also. But hitters just have to be patient, have quality at bats, adjust to what he's doing to them. But, Game 7s are usually epic games. They're very intense games, and I don't expect that different tonight.
When you're a great hitter, obviously being a Hall of Famer, when you see what Miller and Chapman are doing right now and how good they have been in this playoffs consistently at these just ridiculous stats, as a hitter knowing how tough it is to get a hit off a really good relief pitcher, what goes through your head?
Well, you got to take away a certain portion of the plate and not let them work on both sides. Miller has been getting a lot of his strikeouts on pitches that are out of the strike zone. So you're either going to have to sit on the fastball and concede the slider, or you're going to have to sit on the slider, which you'll get a better quality swing at if it's in the strike zone, and give him the fastball. But, that's just his makeup. He throws the ball 90, 96 miles per hour, and he has that sweep and slide, and that's what he's getting a lot of his strikeouts on.
The Hall of Famer Andre Dawson with us, wrapping up with him on the Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920 The Jersey, big Game 7 tonight. I've never liked this All-Star Game rule, how it decides and dictates home field advantage. Where do you stand on that?
No, I don't really like it either. I think that's why you play the season itself. The team that has the best year, the best record, deserve, that feat. That's an accomplishment in itself, and I think they should be rewarded for it.
I know the preference would be to be at home for a Game 7, but I actually think that this could actually work in the Cubs' favor. And the reason I say that is because Kyle Schwarber, if this was a home game and it went by the best record, he's not starting tonight. That DH role for Schwarber is big on the road.
Yeah, that definitely kind of plays, I won't say to their advantage, but, it gives them an extra long ball threat, RBI guy right in the middle of the lineup. So I don't think they have any qualms about playing on the road as long as their offense is rolling.
I thought up until last night, all throughout the season, all the pressure has been on the Cubs, and they were down 3-1. But the minute when Russell got that ball to fall last night, when the outfielders misplayed that ball to right center field, I started to finally feel for the first time in this series, and really all season, the pressure not be on the Cubs. Is there more pressure on the Indians tonight because they were up 3-1 at one point?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. There's pressure on both ball clubs, but that perhaps was the break that the Cubs need. They haven't swung the bat like they did during the season. The offense has been unsteady, and they've been searching. But, to have a break like that early on and to give a Cy Young Award winner a 3-run lead before he even makes his first pitch to the home team, that was big, and that was, I think, a pivotal point in the game.
Now, Andre, you work in the Marlins organization right now. You live in Florida, and even though it's been a little bit since Jose Fernandez passed, he's still clearly on our minds with such a tragic incident that did occur, and you have Aroldis Chapman honoring him with his initials, JF, on the hat. Just how will you remember Jose Fernandez, and what kind of person was he?
Great kid, great kid. A lot of energy. You enjoyed being around him. Like you say, such a tragic at a very early age, and I'm sure not only this organization, his teammates, the community, baseball is going to miss him because he was going to be one of the faces of the game for years to come.
And a lot of things that I've heard is he looked up to those really great players in the game. And just with his background, there were so many kids that looked up to him. What were your conversations like with him?
Well, I talked to him on several occasions, most notably about, pitching in the big leagues, and, it's a couple of years ago, and, how despite what your makeup is, the quality of stuff that you have, you can't be afraid to pitch in. If you hit a guy, so be it. Let him go to first base. But also, just the adjustments you have to make on a daily basis once you get here. You have the hearts of the fans, and, you want to go out there and respect the uniform, respect the fans, respect the organization, and just give it your best ability every time you walk through the double doors.
Well, Andre, once again, we send our condolences to the entire Marlins organization and you, because I know you were very close with him. Enjoy that Game 7 tonight, and we appreciate you coming on today. Thanks so much.
Okay, guys, my pleasure.